Hello and welcome to Learn Law with Hannah. So today I'm going to be talking about law and justice. So you can get an essay question on this in paper 3, 20 marks, 8 marks for AO1, so legal knowledge and understanding, and then 12 marks for evaluation. So the kind of essays would be like, to what extent can law achieve justice? So first of all, I would define justice. So justice is fairness, and the idea is the law should be fair in how it treats people. It should punish the wrongs and it should protect humans' rights. I would then put in a few philosophers. So Plato talked about justice being harmony between different sectors or classes in society. I've also mentioned Aristotle, who said that a just state distributes wealth on the basis of merit, giving each according to his virtue and to his contribution in society. Positivist theories such as Hart. So Hart said justice is connected with fairness, and again, social justice Rawls, I think you pronounce his name, said each person has the right to basic freedoms, freedom of speech and association, and the state must respect the autonomy of the individual. Okay, so after doing that, I would state that there are 4 types of justice and give a brief explanation of each. So first of all, formal, or sometimes it's called procedural justice. This is the idea that the procedures and systems that are put in place need to ensure justice. So the legal framework itself, the police, the courts, prisons, juries, things like that, it must all be structured and fair. Substantive justice is the idea that the content of the law itself must be just, it must be fair. Distributive justice, that justice is distributed equally between different races, classes, ages, and it's achieved if wealth is redistributed more equally. And then the 4th type, corrective justice. So justice is achieved by putting the wrong right, by correcting the wrong. Now what I would then do is I would talk about those 4 types, and I would give an example for each, and I think I would do one where justice is achieved and one where justice is not achieved. So there are so many examples. With procedural justice, I mean, the fact that you can appeal against your conviction, if you were wrongly convicted and there's new and compelling evidence, surely that achieves justice. The fact that you're tried by your peers, the jury of 12 people. I mean, you can argue that some of the sentences are too restrictive. So life sentence for murder, it is always life. You can talk about the police. Is justice being achieved there? You can be held for 2 weeks for suspected terrorism and 4 days. Things like being released under investigation, there's no time limit. Is that fair? Is that achieving justice for the suspect? With substantive law, you can look at anything here, any content, throughout your 2 years of study. This is what is great about this topic. So for example, you could talk about criminal law defences. Is it right, is it fair that we give somebody a defence of loss of control for murder? When effectively what we're saying is you've lost your temper, you've murdered someone, we'll give you a defence. Equally, I would say that the content of the law is very fair. It's scrutinised before it is made, which is a positive thing. Sentences, judges have guidelines. They can't just pick something out. They have to follow the guidelines. In terms of distributive justice, everybody is entitled to a duty solicitor. So that helps the poorer people. Great, everyone has that. You have equality. However, there's a lot you can criticise here. If you're from a minority ethnic background, you are 8-9 times more likely to be stopped and searched by the police. Equally, inequality of arms. If you are bringing a case against a big company, then you are going to be at a disadvantage because of that. They have more power, they can afford more experienced lawyers. You may have to fund it yourself, as in Steele and Morris. And then corrective justice, putting the wrong right. Are some of the sentences too lenient? Is it fair that you can have a third knocked off your sentence for pleading guilty? Is that too much? Rape sentences, they start at 5 years, but if you plead guilty and only serving half of your time in prison, is that really correcting the wrong? In some tort cases, are the damages enough? The fact that you can't get legal aid for personal injury seems to be very unfair. You have to go to a no-win, no-fee solicitor, and they take a large percentage of your winnings. So really, any examples, and I'll just say try and link it, whatever example you think of, pick out any cases, any statutes that you've studied, but try and link it to the specific type of justice. So if you have any questions, please comment below and let me know. Thank you.